large organizations that you start to realize, you know what, this compensation plan may not be as lucrative as I thought. And most people, when they get involved in a network marketing company, they never get to that point. So every comp plan looks lucrative. And when I got involved in Javita, I sat down with Dr. Chi. I flew out to LA and looked at Javita for the very first time on a co-op mission, right? No one knew I was going in. And I remember spending some time with Dr. Chi, and we went through the comp plan. And by the time I was done, I didn't let him know, of course, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is huge. And I remember meeting Stan for the very first time and saying, hey, is this sustainable? Like, you pay out a lot of money. And as we build large organizations, you're not going to change a comp plan 5 or 10 years from now, are you? And he says, no. He said, it's scalable. That word scalable is unbelievable, because when Javita starts doing $50 million a month, 50% of that is coming through our organization.
Yay.
Right? So, how do you get the lion's share? You have to know, right? So what my goal is to teach you the activity. I believe that activity leads to production. And if you know the activity, then you know what the production is going to look like. But if you don't know what the activity looks like, you don't know what the production is going to look like, right? So the key things for us as leaders in this room is we have to learn it, because it'll motivate you. Oh my gosh, it will motivate you. Once you really know, and each and every one of you understands what you want to make, to really solidify this why you got involved in Javita. Once you understand what that is, you are going to basically get so jacked out of your mind, so fired up. It's so crazy. I know the comp plan so well that I get so obsessive sometimes. And I knew I wanted to get some momentum before we came. So I drove 200 miles last night to do a Java party at 6:30. After the Java party, I turned around and drove back home because my flight left at 5 a.m. this morning. So I got home at midnight. And then I basically slept for 3 hours. I got up at 3:30 this morning to pack to come here this morning. So I've been up since 3, and I'm still jacked up. You know why? Because I realize what this event's going to do, and I realize what we're putting in place. So I'm already fired up about this, right? The other thing is that if we learn it, we can teach it. And if you teach it, it'll motivate your team. See, what you can't do is assume that everybody knows how they get paid. I guarantee you, if you go to your organization right now and you say, hey, do you know how you get paid? Do you know how you make this kind of money? They'll look to you and say yes. You know why they're going to say yes? Because they're adults. Adults are not going to say, you know what, honestly, I really don't know how I get paid. Right? I don't know what I'm doing. Adults don't do that. Right? We mask it just like in church, right? You don't know who's got what going on, right? Everything looks good from the outside, right? So we have to say, hey, let me teach you this. Let me show you this, right? I truly believe that you have to have a final destination. You have to know where you want to go. How much do you want to make? How much do you want to make in Javita? What dollar figure is going to change your life in Javita? For some of you, it's $500 a month, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. See, the money is not the destination. The money is just opportunity for you. What is that opportunity going to allow you to do in the future? So what's the dollar amount? Have you ever thought about that? Do you ever sit down with a new member and say, what's the dollar figure we're shooting for? What is this dollar figure going to help you do? Right? We dig into their why, but do you even know? How much do you want to make? What do you want to? Have you ever written that down? You know what I have all my members do? At the top of their page, I have them write down a dollar figure. Write down a dollar figure. How much do you want to make? $5,000, $10,000 a month. I remember when I came into business, I told Dr. Chi, I have to make $10,000 to $17,000. What do I need to get there? We went through the comp plan, and when we came in on October 15, he said, well, you got to get to supervisor. Supervisor it was. So we busted out supervisor before the end of the month because we realized what the comp plan was going to do for us going into the next month. Does that make sense? Yes. So we understood a destination, but you have to have the end in mind, because we are going to go through some hurdles. We're going to go through some obstacles. If you want to be a diamond and 10,000 is your goal or 20,000 is your goal, then you need to set that as your destination. And you don't need to stop when bugs hit your windshield. You guys have driven long distance and bugs hit your windshield, right? If you stop every time a bug hit your windshield, how long would it take you to get to your destination? Forever. What you got to do is you drive and you clean the bugs off later. So you get a destination in mind. What's that dollar figure going to do for you, right? That's what we're going to do, okay? So, 12 ways we get paid. One of the things you have to understand in these 12 ways we get paid, like Dr. Chi used to always tell me, they're called pay centers, right? But understand that our comp plan is a compounding comp plan. Every time you start to build this Jevita business and you grow an organization, all of those numbers start to compound on each other. And then one day, as a diamond, you're getting paid 12 different ways from 12 different opportunities from 12 different cycles. Does that make sense? Like, you're literally getting paid from 12 different people when you hit diamond. But understand that you have to understand that to know it so you can teach it. Okay? So 12 ways we all know. So the first couple ways, retail profit, obviously we all know about that, right? Where you can buy the product, sell it. Second way is obviously through our commission structure, through our websites. The question is this: when someone comes up to you and says, hey, I want to make $200 or $300 a month, don't assume that everybody wants to make $10,000. Don't assume that. Because most people in network marketing could never see themselves making $10,000 to $20,000 in a home-based business. No way. They think it's reserved for the superstars. There's no way I can do that. So how much do you want to make? Write down how much you want to make. They say 3 or 4. You know how many times I've had people say, Kimon, show me how to make $300 to $500. $300 to $500, and I would be extremely happy. I would love Jevita. I would go to the meetings. I would attend. But show me how to make $300 to $500. Can you literally take someone at just point number 1 and say, could you do this? Could you sell your 14 boxes of coffee and make $630? Could you sell 4 boxes a week? Could you sell 4 boxes a week and make $160? $160 times 4 weeks, could you do that? Right? Could you sell 5 boxes a week? 5 boxes a week at profit, you'd make $20. 20 times 5 is $100. $100 times 1 week, 5 boxes is $100 a week. $100 times 4 is $400. Would that help you? Could that be your $400 that we could do? Could you sell 4 or 5 boxes a week? Could you do that? And they say, yeah. Then I say, do you want me to continue to the other 11? Or should I stop here? Right? So like, we have to be able to explain this to them. So I think, wow, that's number 1, yeah. I haven't talked about number 2 yet. Did you want me to continue, or are we good with the 300 or 400? Right? Can you break that down for them so that it can be real to them? See, too many times we get so caught up in this $20,000 a month that we forget about the $300 or $400 a month. That $300 or $400 a month is so much motivation that I want to make $10,000 a month because I see the simplicity, right? So the personal customer commissions, this is an unbelievable way. Why? Because of timing. You are so early in Jevita that the timing for you is unbelievable just in point number 2. Because every customer gets a website. And every customer has an opportunity to do a 3 and free. And every customer that's not getting their product free, you can make up to 20%. You can make up to 20% on all the referrals that you make. Do you know how powerful that is? Being the fact that we are so young and not many people know about us. Imagine when we get to the point where we're like some of these top 10 companies in the world. And all these millions of customers have websites. And many of those millions of customers are in your downline. The timing of what you guys have and what I have is unbelievable. We have to take advantage of it. And just point number 2, I think you can make a little bit of change just on some referrals. But can you explain that to them? Can you explain the power of that? Right? Number 3, 3 and free, this is what I tell people. You're going to build a downline organization because our number 1 focus in Jevita is not recruiting. Our number 1 focus in Jevita is selling coffee. That's your number 1 focus. That's why when you look at the comp plan for supervisors, directors, managers, it doesn't show positions underneath them because all we're doing is we are creating coffee distribution. We all know that McDonald's has the worst hamburgers in the world. But McDonald's sells the most hamburgers in the world. You know why? They have the most distribution. This is not about creating a good hamburger. This is about selling a lot of hamburgers. Does that make sense? We just happen to have a good cup of coffee that we're going to sell a lot of. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do is we're going to create distribution. See, this looks like Star. See, this looks like Star Builder. You know what this looks like to me? Multiple distributions of coffee that people are referring. See, you can create a distribution of people and you can create a distribution of customers at the exact same time and get paid the same time 2 separate ways. Does that sound lucrative enough?